gentlemen, we are back, and we are into the bans and picks. C-Zone, are you floating around somewhere?
Yes, I am.
So,
Had to check my mark there. Yes, I am.
awesome, welcome,
And
welcome.
this will be a great game.
So, first ban. Now, of course, MYM do get first ban, first pick, and they're going to remove Morgana from the pool. We've seen that. That was their third ban last time round. And this time, BBN actually banning Karthus themselves, thinking that MYM may first pick it.
Probably do, and it's kind of like COG EU does with Urgot. They either try to pick it or they ban it every single game. I don't think there has been an Urgot on the enemy team at all yesterday on CLG, because they apparently think that champion is very strong, and they used that to great effect, and so did BBN with that Karthus. Six was playing very well, and he can be proud of his achievements there.
Yeah.
So Morgana, Lee Sin, and Shen were bans in the last game too, and as we said, they're just generally very strong picks. So they're not necessarily targeted there.
Yeah, I've just know you don't want to deal with the split pushing power that a Shen can put down, and of course Lee Sin in the jungle, Jax in the top lane. They're just complete monsters. So MYM mirroring their bans so far. Those are the three champions they banned out in game number 1. We do see a Shen and an Urgot ban. Nautilus was the one that was missing from Better Buff Needly this time around. So we're going to see whether or not MYM are actually going to lock in Nautilus, or see who else they decide they want to put in the jungle. Dr. Mundo is available. So is Maokai. So is Shyvana actually, but we haven't seen a lot of Shyvana in recent weeks.
Yeah, Shyvana has been played a lot less. I think that's mostly because everyone is like, well, Mundo is pretty much the same but better, because they both have a good clearing speed. I'm not sure who's faster actually, but Mundo has way more reliable ganks, even when he doesn't have rat buff. So that's why people pick up Mundo a lot, and he's slightly more tanky because of his what was I going to say? Sadism.
Yeah.
Gives him a lot of regen, and that obviously makes you tankier.
And of course, all the movement speed that it gives you as well is really, really strong. So, ooh, I'm going to like this. Yes, please. Bandage, toss, tantrum, tears of sadness, and curse of the sad mummy. I love Amumu. He is the coolest character in the game. So sad, and you know, he's a dead baby. You know, I mean, like, he's literally a dead baby. If you guys haven't read the story, go read the story.
Yes, he is so awesome.
I love it. I love it. So Amumu,
I wish I could tell him I love him, so he'd have to cry a little less.
The thing that I'm a bit nervous about, or that's scary for MYM, is if Better Buff Needly takes an early invade and they manage to steal the blue buff from MYM, Amumu is screwed. You know,
That'd
he
make
needs
him a
those
sad
tears.
mummy.
Yeah, that would make him a very sad mummy.
Oh, by the way, someone raised a very valid point about the Mundo thing as well. He also goes where he pleases.
Yes, Dr. Mundo does go where he pleases. And maybe I got a bit excited about the statement. Sorry, chat. I didn't mean to offend you there. So, we do see Blade Master hovering over Soraka, deciding, well, we may still see Soraka and Nautilus. So, BBN, they banned Nautilus last time around, and now they've selected him. So that's in place of Maokai, who they had in the jungle in the last, in the last game. So at the very least, we should see who was jungling for them. It was Brook Lee, wasn't it? No, it was Nekadip. We should see Nekadip playing fairly similarly, because of course the style of Nautilus is very much the same as Maokai. So I'm going to see hovering over Corki and Janna. I quite like that lane. I think the escapability of Valkyrie, as well as the strength of that Eye of the Storm, is very, very strong. But of course, it is changing their minds. Do we want Leona? Do we want Taric? Taking a Taric Corki lane is great. That counters the armor from Astral Blessing. So it's quite strange they were switched. I suppose they don't need to pick a support because they know who the support's going to be. You know, BBN aren't going to lock in a Taric. But the reason that I like that pick, the Gatling gun from Corki, as well as the Shatter from Taric, will reduce the armor buff that gets laid down when Soraka puts a heal down. And it's very, very powerful to go for that shred, that armor debuff lane against a lane that is very, very high in armor.
That is very true. It's going to be a Vladimir pickup. That's going to be very interesting. It is one thing that... Oh, wow. Okay, he's going to switch. Okay, I shouldn't talk about stuff that hasn't been looked at. Ooh, Ziggs. Please do that.
Well, we've seen Zerx playing Ziggs last night, if you
It
recall.
was so good.
Yep, the Mega Inferno bomb to steal blue buff and the bouncing bomb to steal dragon. So we know Zerx can play Ziggs very well, and it is locked in. We also see Needly's been locked in, so better buff Needly playing Needly. Caesar, move your microphone just a little bit away. Move your mic just a little bit away from your mouth.
Sorry.
Yeah. when you laugh, we hear the breathing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I like that. Needly on the team that's called Better Buff Needly, so very, very interesting.
Yeah, but... Oh, wow. Okay, I really like that. But I thought she was supposed to be underpowered.
Well, that's
Okay, so
according to their
the
name.
way I'm seeing it, if they pick... let's see, what can they pick? They can't really pick an AD carry that has to disengage. But they could be running Pokemon, because Nilly is a very good poker, and Ziggs is an extremely good poker as well. If he gets a bit of cooldown reduction, he can actually have a 2-second cooldown on his Q, and it has a pretty good range. So they could be going for a Pokemon, and that'd be very interesting to see, because I really like watching Pokemons. I seriously think that's one of the most enjoyable things in the game. So it's going to be a Twisted Fate and Alistair on the other side. Alistair is a very good pick against the Cup Pokemon, because both he and Mumu, that's actually another one, are really good at making sure you can engage. Like, those two together, it's really hard to disengage from that. So maybe they're not running for running a Pokemon. Maybe they'll play AD Bruiser Nidalee, but I'm still hoping for a Pokemon.
I'm very worried for better buff Needly for the amount of crowd control that can be put down. Aurelia's got the stun, you've got the power of the Twisted Fate Destiny into gold card ganks, you've got the pulverized headbutt from Alistair, and of course the Curse of the Sad Mummy. Now, Nautilus, of course, does have some very good crowd control, but he's the only one on their team that has guaranteed. Yeah, you've got the silence coming out from Soraka, and that knockback coming out from the Satchel Charge on Ziggs, but really reliable crowd control. MYM are strongly in the better position this time round.
Yeah, but with the Ezreal as well, I would definitely not be surprised to run a Pokemon. And what they need in a Pokemon is 2 Soroyas, and then they can usually get away, because both Alistair and the Moon will have to run up to you to be able to initiate. So if they ward their flanks well, they should be able to do this, and I'm very excited for this. I hope they're running a Pokemon. Actually, I'm going to check the Nidalee runes right now to see if she's going for
well, we've already
AD or
seen...
AP.
We've already seen...
And he is going AP!
We have already seen the Soul Shrouds coming out from the different teams. So Soul Shroud, in conjunction with Bouncing Bombs, Mystic Shot, the Spear from Nidalee, it's a lot of tower aggression, tower poke. And I think that's why MYM ended up taking Alistair. Alistair's heal, of course, drops the cooldown reduces for every creep that dies, meaning he's going to be able to keep throwing out that triumphant roar. He's going to be able to keep healing up every single member of his team under a tower. And the wave clear that comes out from a Corki and a Twisted Fate means there's not going to be a whole lot of dragged out fights in that particular sense. So let's take a look at the moment. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have an overlay to cover the summoner spells, guys. I do apologize about that. But we do see Venom Blade Master. He's going to be going top lane against Caroline's Aurelia. And he's gone for the cleanse. So, you know, we mentioned all the crowd control that can be put down from MYM. And it shows because Needley's taken cleanse as well as Spirit of Mage. Double cleanse.
Well, they do have a lot of CC, but no, wait, never mind. I was going to say it's mostly knockups. There's only one knockup. That is not cleansable, by the way. Alistair is definitely not cleansable, so they're not taking it for that. But for a Mumu and the gold card and a possible stunt from Aurelia, that is a very good to get those 2 cleanses. And cleanse does not only clean off a summoner spell, it also gives 65 tenacity, or disable reduction of 65%, depending on how you look at it, for 3 seconds. So if there is change CC on them, it will be will all be reduced.
So when I think we should throw up a very quick advert break, guys. We're down to the last minute and a half. And once we are back, it will be Meet Your Makers facing off against Better Buff Needly in Game 2 of this Best of 3 set. So my commercials are running. C-Zone, can I ask you to throw up or give me your Facebook link again?
Oh, yeah, sure.
And then I'll give you mine, just so we can do a shameless bump just a little bit later.
Yeah. I feel like an attention whore now that I have Facebook.
Yeah, I know. But it's got to be done. But this will only be right at the end once we get to the Moscow 5 game.
Yeah.
So for everybody that is busy, overhearing us or whatnot, disable your ad blockers. You are evil, evil people.
And if you don't have ad blocker, then you may live.
Yeah, you may live. I like that. You have been given permission. Game number 2 coming up. I dislike Twitter immensely, but sadly, it has to be done. It has to be updated. So, for everybody that's busy watching, it is a 3 advert break, 90 seconds. And it's just to kill off the last minute and a half. You've got to remember that it's the adverts alone that actually keep these streams and these events live. So
that's why we want you to stop ad blocking if you're doing that.
Exactly. So into the last 5 seconds, I think the commercials are about to end. At least they will in a second.
Mine is like 20 seconds left, I think.
Yeah, mine have just ended. So welcome everybody back. If you are asking about the ad blocker or something along those lines, it is of course what keeps these tournaments afloat. It's the revenue that comes through, and it's not millions and millions like people tend to think. But let's see what happens with these skins.
My ad's only just stopped, but
awesome.
So hello everyone, and we are looking at the skins as soon as I get my game back up. It's going to be up now. I don't know why it keeps deleting this, but stuff happens. I have to work out this XSplit thing.
Got some really, really cool skins at the moment. Subterranean Nautilus is in there.
Is that the yellow one?
It is.
Oh, we're totally going to sing that song, dude.
Little Nita Mumu, Red Baron Corky.
Bewitching
I'm a
Nidalee.
huge fan. Yeah, that's a cool one because her broom has got the back end that actually looks like a broom. So it's quite nice. Soraka and Aurelia letting the side down, hey. Not cool.
Oh, Alistair. No, wait, Alistair's Longhorn. Okay.
So
He may live.
I just need to update my scoreboard because I believe it's slightly incorrect.
I've got it up. Wait, huh? Oh.
So
I have to do that too.
BBN 1-0 at the moment. And of course, they are wearing the red trunks this time round. We are on colorblind mode. For everybody that's asking, or that's wondering. And where is Aurelia? Yeah, no Frostblade Aurelia this time round. I really, really like that skin as well. So to everybody that's joined, thank you for stopping by. In case you didn't know, this is of course the Medion challenge. This is the top 8 teams started out yesterday in a double elimination best of 3 format. We've already had a couple of games from last night, and today we're going to have 3 games. This game, you've got Team Megashock facing off against, is it XHCL in the lower bracket? No, against Asylum, sorry, against Asylum.
And I have actually just read that Team SK, Team Megashock, won that game. So congratulations to them. They will be facing XHCL on
the 4th. Or the 5th, it's tomorrow maybe.
Sunday. Tomorrow or Sunday?
Well, we'll double check the bracket in a second. So XHCL against Team Megashock will be the next lower bracket game. That'll be casted another night. Tonight, though, we're going to follow the winner of this game against Moscow 5. And, of course, it is a best out of 3. So both teams, loads and loads and loads of pings all over the place. We do see MYM setting up to either steal blue or... I'm not even quite sure why they're hiding in this bottom bush.
They do have Alistair, so that is a very good level 1 champion.
Well, they've got huge level 1. You've got the Pulverize, you've got the Bandage Toss, you've got the Gold Card.
Oh, Bandage Toss now? Oh, he did go for Bandage Toss,
He
wow.
has, so, very, very powerful. Let's see who they... Are they going to catch anybody? Bandage
They
Toss
are
is
gonna go
forward.
Oh,
So
great
nicely
flash.
done. The flash goes... Blue buff is still available. They end up just smiting it, so...
Oh wow, that's gonna help him in the jungle a lot, because Bandage Toss actually makes you jungle really badly with a Mumu. It's kind of an all-in strategy. If you go with the Bandage Toss, you have to get a kill or a buff. But he did totally do that, and that's really good for him. But wow, that flash was amazing. Like, he hit it as soon as his stun ended, and that was pretty much the only thing that kept him
Really
alive.
nicely done by Nekaderp.
Yeah, if that thing did hit the Blue of Rise, he would have been dead for sure because the gold coat was coming up as well. And I'm gonna tune up direct the camera right here. So red buff is getting picked up by Nakaderp. Nakaderp getting really low after tanking the blue buff and the red buff. But Morcat not actually power jungling. He went for a possible gank mid, but it didn't quite work out for him. So he did lose some with the advantage he got, and he is behind in the jungle now because he had to start with his Q. And that's what I was talking about. He's still not level 2, and Nakaderp is almost level 3, so he will actually be ahead in the jungle, as ironic as that may sound.
What I like about this at the moment, take a look at the bottom lane. I mentioned the armor shred that Makler's going to be able to put out with his Gatling gun. He hasn't put a point into it just yet, but it will be coming up fairly shortly. And of course, Soraka, she's going to be giving a little bit of magic resist as well as that big armor buff. But a lot of Corki's burst at low level comes from the magic skills. You know, hitting the phosphorus bomb, followed up by the magic missiles, the what are they called again? It's missile barrage, rather. Magic missiles is Dungeons and Dragons. And I like the fact that that burst is going to be pretty high. At the moment, Spirit of Mage, he is wearing a lot of magic resist though. 57, so that's compliments of the aura from Soraka, as well as probably runes for MR. And the middle lane, Zerk's almost going down to a very aggressive Charu.
So right now, I just realized this, but there's 7 boots in the game. Even the support on MYM did go for boots, so Libic taking the boots on his Alistar. On Alistar, that's actually very acceptable. That's what people usually do on Alistar. On all the other supports, you usually see Fairy Charm, which is why there's only 3 boots on BBN. And right now, there's going to be a Philosopher's Stone on both junglers, so neither of them is very far ahead. But the thing that Morcat has going for him is that he got 2 blue buffs, which means that his is still going, and which also means that he is not as far behind as he should have been with that bandage still start. So that's very good for him.
So Morcat has now moved over to the red buff. His blue about halfway through, and I'm nervous for Charu in the middle. Sorry, for Zerks in the middle, because he almost went down to a Twisted Fate without any items. You know, TF was he's only just finished his Sorcerer's Shoes, and Zerks,
which is very aggressive, actually.
Yeah, especially on Twisted Fate, although it sort of makes sense when you consider he's going to be playing the Destiny roaming gank game. So now we're going to see, you do see Zerks and Nautilus coming down, or Nekaderp moving down to this bottom lane. They ping him as soon as he gets in vision of the ward. But I like the fact that Charu has gone for those boots, because once he hits level 6, and he's very close to doing so, it's going to allow him to move closer to the top or the bottom lane, then use that Destiny to close the gap, and of course the burst that's going to come out from his wild cards is going to be even higher because of the magic penetration.
Yeah, it's very aggressive though, because usually see people go for Doran's Ring or something like that, but with the movement speed he will be able to just go in on Zerks, and Zerks is way higher range because Twisted Fate is one of the shortest ranges in the game. But with those boots he will be able to close the gap, and that's going to help him a lot in this lane. They are happily farming at the moment.
Remember,
but it looks like he might be going for a gank right now. He is level 6. He is moving down.
Gold card is selected.
Over BBN is very low, and there comes the Destiny. He is going to go for Brookley. Brookley is going to get half that core price as well, and the first blood does go down. Charu actually picking that up, and he's going to be a very happy, not a hippie Twisted Fate, but a happy Twisted Fate. With his 800 gold, he will be able to pick up a Doran's Ring and some wards, one of which is a Vision ward actually. So he might be clearing wards.
That'll probably be for Dragon. I think that's probably going to be for Dragon. If I think, you know, he's got the boots, he's moving around quite a bit, and it was a really nice gank from Charu. And we do have pressure up in the top lane though. Nothing really coming of it, just back and forth. But what I liked about that as well is that just a great combination, you know, managed to pull it together. Libic landed a very good headbutt pulverize, and the arcane shift from Spirit of Mage more than enough to get him out of, you know, push him to safety.
I wouldn't actually be surprised if he puts down his ward right where the ward of BBN is, because he did probably notice they saw him as soon as he went past there, and there's actually going to be a counter jungle now. MYM is going to be trying to get this blue buff, but it will be a simple 4 versus 4, and it's going to be interesting to see if they actually pull this off. The thing is, there are creeps at the tower of Spirit of Mage, and Spirit of Mage has to stay here for quite a while, not being able to go in immediately, and Livik is actually going to stop them from doing blue. It seems to be going off with a fizz though, because, wow, okay, Livik seems to be recalling. That's probably a bait though. No, he does recall. That's strange. Apparently they choose not to.
Oh, there is a ward in the bush though, keep an eye on that. So Mokat does know what's going on, unfortunately just a little bit slow there. But they did manage to force Nekadip to use his smite to steal the blue buff. So it does mean that they're going to be able to donate this next blue to Charu, and Zerx is going to have to make do without it. He's going to have to rely on the mana regen of those Doran's rings.
Oh wow, the overlay. Sargasso overlay didn't quite save there. I'm going to go change that right now.
So Charu at the moment, I was trying to mention a little bit earlier when we were talking about the range that Ziggs has. The range of those wild cards, I believe, is actually even further than the bouncing bomb on a Ziggs. So it's definitely something to consider, and especially when you think that's his main burst damage. Now very, very aggressive on this bottom lane. MYM Makla taking a lot of damage. Spirit of Mage is going to be looking to pick up a kill. The missile, but the True Shot Barrage does actually miss. Instantly cleanses from the gold card. Ignite now goes down on Spirit of Mage. Charu's just waiting for the next card. He's going to land the gold. That's going to be enough to pick up the kill. A very nice pulverize into an even better headbutt. Lubick is going to be pushing. He doesn't have his ultimate, so he can't tank these towers all day long. But he manages to buy just enough time for Charu to pick up a double kill.
In the meantime though, BBN is going to be going for the enemy blue buff, and they will be getting this blue buff onto Zerx most likely, because I'm pretty sure that MYM is not going to be there in time, but MYM is going to say, okay, we'll go take the dragon then. And that's a fairly good exchange, actually.
I think that's a great trade. Yes, you know, Twisted Fate and Amumu, they do sort of want the blue buff. Charu's less so, because he's got that blue card to replenish his mana supply. But great play from MYM right now. Charu setting up two very good ganks, compliments of that Destiny ultimate. And the True Shot Barrage so close to picking up a kill onto Makla. Makla, it should be noted, sitting on 2,800 gold, 74 CS to the 56 of Spirit of Mage. He's going to be able to go back and buy a whole lot of items.
Yeah, he didn't go back yet, so that's going to be quite a bit that he has to. He's probably going to go for, I assume, Phage and probably a Doran's Blade or two. Or maybe he's going to go for BF Sword and a Doran's Blade or two. Depending on which build he is going for.
Well, it depends what he's going to look, because of course having 2,800 gold means he doesn't need to go for any sort of early advantages by picking up a Phage or a Sheen, for example. He could afford to just go straight for the BF Sword, or in this particular case, I think he's saving straight for an Infinity Edge. I think the fact that he hasn't recalled yet and he's sitting on 3,000 gold, I thought he was going to stay in lane and allow the Triumphant Roar from Alistar just to, you know, top him up and keep him there. Triumphant Roar does only have 1 point in it though, so Headbutt is being maxed from Libek. He's going for the DPS.
Up top there might be a gang down. Nukadup is, oh wow, he walks out of the brush. And there was a yellow submarine.
And
I was like, oh, okay.
I definitely think you need to look at the items right now. Leviathan being built on Twisted Fate.
What?
That is correct. You are seeing a Leviathan on Charu. Coming out from Makla, he's finished a Bloodthirster immediately.
I would like analyze, but I have no idea. I seriously have no clue. I guess it could be doing the thing where you like teleport away and they can't kill you in time, and so you can teleport away from everything, or you can teleport into a tower and stuff.
Yep.
Still though, Leviathan? That's just weird, to be honest. I mean, how much gold did he have? He had 4k gold in total, so that meant like 2.5k. He would have been better off going for Womux, in my opinion. I don't really
we'll have
know
to
what
see
he's
how
doing.
it plays out. If it ends up working, if he manages to get those 20 stacks, it will end up being a huge damage reduction. I think it's 15% at max stacks. So we'll have to see if we can actually get it up to that level.
Yes, it is 15%.
But
and,
very, very strange. So now we're going to keep a close eye on just the remainder of this top lane. I haven't actually watched Caroline or Blademaster at all this match so far. 83 to 89 CS. It's about as even as you're going to get. Caroline's going to be able to pick up these last few creeps, and it's so fair. But look in the middle lane.
2 ganks for mid. But there is a Libic coming, and they do not know that, so it will be a 3 versus 2, and they are going to be engaging, going all the way forward, and here comes the Pulverize against the wall with a gold car, and the Pulverize is going to be picking up that kill fairly easily. Chara picking up that kill. In the meantime, Makler is going, oh, I can go 1v2, and he is getting a little damage. Ignite goes down on Spirit of Mage, and Spirit of Mage is going to get quite low. It was after the Astral Bashing though, so it didn't reduce that one. And Libic is looking for a possible tower dive.
We have to give Libic mad props. Every single time we've watched him go for the headbutt Pulverize, he manages to land it, and now all of a sudden Brookley gonna walk straight into here. We do have an Oracle's Elixir on Mokat at the moment. There goes the Pulverize. Headbutt goes up as well, or headbutt into Pulverize. And once again, textbook headbutt Pulverize coming out from Libic.
And I just read that it is the Froggen build that he's going for with the Leviathan. Seems like a bit of a Froggen build, yeah. Froggen does that stuff where he goes stack items, which are supposed to be bad because you have to be waiting for them to be good.
The thing that I find, the thing that that intrigues me, when you consider the previous game was so even, all right, you know, I know Froggen, he likes to build a Warmogs. I don't think I've seen him build a Leviathan, but regardless, in the previous game,
he likes going with Jazz Warmogs.
In the previous game, it was so close. The team fights, the goal difference, you know, the towers, and in actual fact, MYM were sort of in control of the game a little bit. They just were one step ahead until, you know, a bad team fight that cost them the game. But when you know your opponents are on the same level as you, to go for an item like a Leviathan, that's not even an AP stacking item, you know, it's an HP stacking item. It's very interesting, but we'll just have to see whether or not it plays out. Now we do see, there goes a smite steal from Mokat.
That was kind of badly played by BBN there. The way they did that blue wasn't very smart, and they made it de-aggro, which meant that it healed, and Zerx was not able to pick it up. He almost got it, but then walked back and didn't work out for him. They're going to be farming up and pushing back the creep waves, and Dragon should be spawning fairly soon, I think.
Yeah, Dragon was taken around about the 8 to 9 minute mark, so it should be back around 15 and a half, 16 minutes. But
so that will be just a few seconds, so they're pushing back all the waves, and then they will probably form up for that. Caroline is very low mana, but yeah, he'll be fine. He'll probably push this out and then go to Dragon immediately. And that will make sure that it is a 5v4 for most of the fight, if that happens. Actually, he's going to stay for very long, and Blademaster is just going to go for him. Nope, he's going to go for the farm.
Yeah, one pounce, followed up by the little scratchy bushwork, or whatever it's called, Primal Surge, rather. I don't play Needly at all. I suck with Needly so badly. Yeah, the swipe, there we go.
Primal Surge is the heal.
But there's definitely something you need to take note of. 5,000 gold difference right now. Let's see how that spread. Twisted Fate in the middle, 6,000 almost, in comparison to the 4,200 on Zerx. That's a very big difference. Bottom lane, 5,200 to the 3,500. Once again, a huge difference in terms of farm. Top lane are the ones that look about the closest. 4,600 on Aurelia to the 4,000 on Needly. But even that, a 600 gold difference is a fairly big chunk. And I think I noticed somebody walking around with an Oracle's Elixir earlier. It was Brooke Lee, and she's not wearing that Oracle's anymore. So it's at least one Oracle's Elixir that has been burnt. No, I'm lying to you. I think it was Mokat that was actually wearing it. I think we've seen it was when he tower dived. So Dragon is back up, 16 minutes 30. And we're just waiting to see exactly what's going to happen. Who's going to push it down? Twisted Fate. He does have that blue buff. Maxed out wild cards. 4 points into pick a card.
And he has 2 Leviathan stacks for the people that are wondering. So that's 1 kill or 2 assists. I think it's 2 assists.
It was the kill. He managed to pick up that kill.
Oh yeah, it wasn't in the bot dive.
Yes, look at the damage onto Libic. A max range toss.
Lots of bomb of Zerx. And this is the poking I was talking about. Zerx and Blademaster will be doing loads of damage with those spears and those bombs. And they are both on very low cooldowns. So the only thing that they don't really have is a very good disengage, like an Anivia wall or a Trundle pillar. But still, I think they've got a pretty good chance of doing this because they're all pretty mobile. And Blademaster is going to be missing his spear there. But in the meantime, Dragon is going to be picked up by MYM. Don't know why this is not being competed, to be honest. This would be a very good opportunity to poke them, but they're not going to quite do it. And wow, Libic going very low, but no one there to finish it off. And that's actually going to be a flash plus a deep thingy. There's going to be a wow, Libic almost dead. Is the spear going to hit? The spear is going to hit, and he is going to go down. In the meantime, though, there's going to be an engage on Zerx, and Zerx getting very low. Exhaust goes down on Caroline, only reason he's not dead yet. And Nukadub is going to be going down most likely. Actually, he is going to get away with that disengage. And Cesaru almost going down. Zerx is going to go down in the meantime, though, and that's going to be a 1-for-1. 5 people being extremely low, and actually there might be just a fake jump in. No, he's going to go to the mid with that ultimate. And he's going to be pushing as hard as he can. Nope, he's going to just farm the wave and BRB.
What a great team fight there. Just a little bit of hint, or just to let everybody know on chat, if you look at the player name for Ziggs, the player's nickname is Zerx. We are well aware that his name is Ziggs, and we're well aware that the player's name is Zerx, but it's a bit rude to call it by the champion name instead of by his actual player name. So 6-1 is the kill
We'll do
score.
that when it's very low level teams, because there's too many of them. But even then, we still try to use the names.
Call their nicknames. That is their. That's, it is preferred. They do have a little nickname. So 6-1 is the kill score.
Defender in football, either. Or soccer.
Exactly. 8,000 gold difference at the moment. Meteor Maker's really, really far ahead. Charu currently sitting on 3 stacks of that Leviathan.
Oh yeah, that's actually a very good thing to notice. It was a 1-for-1 in that team fight. But there was a Leviathan stack, so it was well worth it for MYM.
Yeah,
because
ended up being very good.
Stack gives, let's see, 32 health, which is a decent amount.
A lot of abilities were used, and a very, very nice javelin toss came out from Blademaster to pick up a kill onto Libic as he was trying to escape under the tower. But we were watching Caroline running all over the place and super low HP, and managed to actually come back into the fight right at the end with one more Blade Surge and pick up a kill. So really nicely done there. And for everybody that's asking, the Leviathan is the health item equivalent of the Medjai's Soul Stack, or Soul Keeper, and the Soul Stealer, there we go, and Sword of the Occult. So it adds 18 hit points per stack, 32 hit points per stack rather. Stacks up to 20 times, and if you get it up to 20 stacks, you have 15% damage reduction. So, whereas Warmog's just stacks raw HP, to a cap, you don't lose those stacks or anything like that. That is the Snowball item, which you can lose numbers for. A little bit of delay on that HP damage up in the top lane.
And for the fast calculators, that's 640 health you get from the Leviathan. From the stacks, plus 180 from the normal item, which brings us to a grand total of 820 HP, which is not a lot of health, but with the reduction, that effectively makes it a lot more. Makes it like, I think, 1500 health or something you get for the item, plus making all the other health you get more effective health as well. And there's going to be a stun card on Blademaster. Great ward there that's actually going to spot him, and Libic will be headbutting him. And it's going to not be against the wall, but still they're going to pick that up with a stun card and a great pulverize. And Caroline is going to be picking it up.
The Ignite was thrown down by Charu there. And I don't know if it was really 100% necessary. Because, of course, it was pretty obvious that Blademaster was going to go down. But nevertheless, kill goes the way of Irelia. So she's 200, 140 CS. Bang on even with her counterpart. And the problem with the poke comp is, unless you're actually doing the sieging and keeping somebody on their tower, it's difficult to win a straight up team fight, because generally the champions, they prefer to kite, they prefer to stay at range and use their abilities from the backline. And if you're constantly being pushed in your face, it's very hard to play that style of gameplay. And
I just read a very true comment in the chat from Frujuzg, or however you pronounce his name. He obviously wanted the second stack really badly, so that's why he ignited. But he did not get it in the end, so that's only 1 stack for his Leviathan there instead of 2 on that kill. That probably makes him a very sad poker player.
Yeah.
I don't know, what is he?
I suppose he's a poker player.
Yeah, he's a poker player, bro.
Styled after Gambit, I guess, you know, because those are all of his abilities. He always threw the different colored cards that blew up or did laser beams or, you know, whatever it was. So that was the theme. But we do see that Charu has finished his Deathfire drops. He's had it for a little while, in fact, because he did have KG's lucky pick. So he managed to complete that a little while ago. And another very big item being completed. Corki has a fully stacked Bloodthirster, as well as a full Trinity Force, and is currently 005. If he picks up 2 more assists, he may actually be able to become James Bond temporarily. Anybody that's played Call of Duty at all, the 007 would have meant you were the worst player, because that was your kills, assists, then deaths. But that's in Call of Duty, of course, so going 007 means you sucked. In this game, it just means you're a great assisting player.
And very charming and funny as well, because that's what James Bond does.
Yep, and shaken not stirred.
Yes,
So
you will have pretty good gadgets though with that money from the assists if you farm well as well.
the damage that Blade Master's putting down with those javelin tosses is so high at the moment. Does have the ROA completed and is currently sitting on 1,100 gold. So moving closer and closer towards that potential needlessly large rod. But we do see Dragon. There comes a very good pulverized headbutt, as well as Curse of the Sad Mummy. Instantly blows up both Needly and Soraka. The depth charge is going to knock Makla up. He's going to be running away. Does go down to Zerx in the background. Now with the Destiny up, they're going to be able to keep vision on Spirit of Mage. He's the last member standing for MYM.
Oh wow, Levick is moving around really well done there. And does he have Boots of Mobility?
Boots of Mobility
yes,
are there.
does,
There goes the... Great. So nicely done. MYM.
Non-stacks on Charu.
Wow. What a game.
That was a great stack CC there in that team fight. And honestly, unless they start making mistakes, I think this game is going to go into their favor, which means we will have a third game. And I mean, it's still winnable for BBN. It's going to be really hard though, and it's honestly MYM is going to have to slip up for this to actually lose this.
Yeah, it's MYM's game to lose. Now Charu is going to move forward. He doesn't know he's about to walk straight into a Blade Master. Blade Master might be able to go into that Cougar form and try hunt down the particular champion. He's going to just use that passive of, you know, the brushes. Going to be running around prowl, picking up that movement speed buff, going in and out of the grass. Not going to be able to chase anybody down though. But you know, 25 minutes in, the fact that the gold advantage is 500 gold per minute in favor of MYM, and the fact that our Twisted Fate currently has 9 stacks on his Leviathan armor, Deathfire Grass completed, Sheen completed, as well as the Needlessly Large Rod. Not only does he have a huge amount of ability power, he's getting up a bunch of HP as well.
One thing someone noticed, which I think is a pretty good point, Mr. Con said that 50% damage reduction on a max range Needly Spear. Pretty good.
Yeah.
That's a very valid reason for getting a Leviathan. He'll have to stack it up quickly though, because he's only at 9 stacks and he's had it for a very long time. I think he had it at like 20 minutes. Or I meant 12. Sure that. So he's had it for 10 minutes at least, and he's not getting too much out of it yet. But it seems like a good idea if he can keep himself from dying and gets some kills right now. And
look at what Aurelia's finished off. She's had that Trinity Force for a little while and picked up now a Guardian's Angel. And Amumu, he's working towards the Abyssal Scepter. So, you know, you've got quite a good combination. A Never Say Die Aurelia, who is already naturally tanky. She's going to be able to come back to life with that GA active, or passive rather. You've then got the Magic Resist, or the Magic Reduction that Amumu is eventually going to be able to put down. That's going to combo with both Corki and with Twisted Fate. And of course, Twisted Fate's going to be able to tank damage all day long if he manages to pick up the 20 stacks on his Leviathan. But even without it, he's dealing so much damage, and the coordination from MYM is just putting them really, really far ahead.
Oh wow, that speared a lot of damage on Makla there. Took down 1/3 of his HP, and I think one spear and about 2 auto attacks will kill him. But he's gonna lifesteal out, and then he'll be just fine. This blue buff probably going to Charu, I guess. No, it seems to be going to Makla for some... No, they're gonna give it to Charu. Charu being a scumbag, not attacking it before it's all the way down. Not very nice.
So take a look at the build so far. 106 on our Mokat. He's had that Oracle's Elixir since the second kill in the game, and he's making it really, really
worthwhile.
worthwhile.
Very good initiate, and it is going to be Blade Master's going to get out instantly. Great pulverize. Because of Samon, we only got 1 or 2 people. They are going to still get Zergs and Spirit of Mage though, and Spirit of Mage channeled his ultimate, didn't quite get it there because he died so quickly. Brookley is getting dived on by Caroline, but Caroline is all alone and they will not go for that. And Mokat is actually going to bandage us into the tower, really well done, and there comes the surrender foe. So we are going to jump right into game 3. It's 1-1 now, and this match is going to be going to MYM.
So game number 2 goes to MYM. We're going to be jumping into the third one very, very shortly. Let's have a quick look at the final kill scores as well as the damage graphs. 1-1-12 Libic. I cannot stress enough just how important his role was in that game. He set up every single one of those ganks, landed pretty much every headbutt pulverized combo there was. So mad props there. Mokat 208, 606 Charu, and a 306 Irelia, played by Caroline. So really well done. The damage graph.
The damage graph is amazing.
Yep.
That's quite a lot more damage dealt there.
Huge.
We can actually look at the team totals, and it's going to be around 70,000 damage more. That's, well, 65...
really big
65,000 damage more, but that's quite a bit. That's really well done by them. And you can see that the carries were doing the most damage, which is pretty logical. Great damage coming out from that Twisted Fate, and wow.
Yeah, really nicely done.
Damage.
So for everybody that you can see on stream at the moment, we are into the next game. There are 8 players out of the 10 loaded up, or 7 out of the 10 rather. We are of course in the lower bracket of the Medion challenge. This is brought to you by Esports Heaven, Intel, Chaos TV, and shoutcasted by myself, Quickshot, and C-Zone. We're waiting for the players to jump into the game, so as soon as they are all in there and ready to go, we're going to head into round number 3 in this best of 3. While I wait for that, I'm going to drink of water and put some music on. So, C-Zone, I'll check you in a minute or 2.
Yes, so we'll also have a short ad break, and I'll see you guys in a bit.